The moment she walked into the office, everything felt off. Papers scattered on the floor, the faint smell of burnt coffee lingering in the air, and her laptop screen flashing an email she never sent. Maya froze. She had trusted Alex, her closest friend and business partner, for over 5 years. Together, they'd built a brand from scratch, late nights, endless sacrifices, shared dreams. And yet, right in front of her, he had just signed over a massive contract she'd been working on alone, leaving her completely in the dark. That gut-wrenching betrayal, knowing someone you trusted was plotting behind your back, made her blood run cold. It was personal, deliberate, and smart. But as her heart raced, a thought pierced through the shock. Revenge is a language Alex didn't know she could speak. Maya stepped back, her mind scanning every detail in the office. A spilled coffee, a smudged handprint on the window. Clues Alex thought she wouldn't notice. But she did. Every sign was there, subtle, a roadmap to his deception, and she was about to turn it into a blueprint for payback. Maya spent the night replaying the meeting in her mind. She realized the first sign had been there all along, Alex's sudden, helpful suggestions that had seemed innocent, the kind of advice that nudges someone off course without them noticing. She had laughed, trusted him, and followed his guidance, never questioning his motives. Now it was clear. His charm had been camouflage, a calculated distraction while he plotted his move. The coffee spill on her desk wasn't an accident. It was the first breadcrumb of his manipulation. Her heart pounded as she noticed other tiny details she had ignored. Files shifted slightly, emails deleted, subtle changes in meeting schedules. Every little inconsistency was a signal. Maya realized revenge wasn't always loud. Often it started quietly, like a whisper in your ear you're too distracted to hear. But if you watched closely, the signs were undeniable, and she vowed, as her fingers clenched around the mug she hadn't spilled, that she would turn every tiny misstep Alex had made into a trap of poetic justice. The next morning, Maya arrived at the office with a calm she didn't feel. Every movement, every glance at Alex was calculated. He didn't know she had noticed the first signs. He thought she was oblivious. That arrogance would be his undoing. She reviewed the project files, the contracts, and the schedules. Every detail Alex had manipulated became a potential leverage point. Maya realized revenge wasn't just about anger. It was strategy. It was understanding their enemies' patterns, exploiting their weaknesses, and turning their own schemes against them. As she sipped her coffee, she plotted small, almost invisible adjustments. Emails were strategically misdirected, meeting times subtly shifted, and hints of accidental oversights left in plain sight. Alex was clever, but Maya had patience, and patience was far more dangerous. The office, once familiar, now felt like a chessboard, and she was already 3 moves ahead. Her heartbeat slowed as she whispered under her breath, "You wanted to play games, Alex. Now the game begins." By mid-morning, Maya noticed it, the second sign. Alex had started leaving small, accidental mistakes in his work, mistakes meant to make her doubt herself. A misfiled contract here, a missed email there. At first glance, they seemed trivial, almost laughable, but Maya saw the pattern. Every slip was intentional, a psychological nudge to destabilize her confidence. It was subtle, but the message was clear. I can control your success, and you won't even notice. Maya's lips curled into a small, almost invisible smile. She understood something Alex didn't. Mistakes could be turned into opportunities. If he wanted to toy with her mind, she would play the game, but on her terms. She quietly documented every error, every misstep, noting the timing, the context, the impact. Each tiny act of sabotage would become ammunition for the inevitable reckoning. Her calm demeanor masked a storm inside. Revenge wasn't about aggression, it was about precision, and Maya was preparing to deliver it with surgical perfection. By lunchtime, Maya noticed the third sign, the one that made her blood run cold. Alex had begun planting rumors, carefully whispering doubts about her competence to the team. Nothing overt, nothing she could call him out on, just tiny, insidious comments dropped in casual conversation. I wonder if Maya double-checked that report, or are you sure she's the right person for this task? At first, Maya felt the sting of betrayal deepen. Not only had Alex undermined her directly, but now he was attacking her reputation, the one thing she had built tirelessly. The subtle psychological warfare was intentional, methodical, and cruel. But instead of panicking, Maya felt clarity wash over her. This was the sign she had been waiting for, the point where revenge was no longer just a thought, it had to become action. She leaned back in her chair, eyes sharp, scanning the office. Every whispered comment, every sideways glance, every small misstep became part of the map she was drawing. The stakes were higher than ever. This was no longer just about justice. It was about sending a message Alex would never forget. By mid-afternoon, Maya noticed the fourth sign, that revenge was already in motion. Alex had begun testing boundaries, asking for favors that seemed harmless but carried hidden consequences. A small favor here, a requested report there, each designed to put her in a vulnerable position. The pattern was undeniable. He was probing for weaknesses, seeing how far he could push her without being caught. Most people would have panicked, but Maya's mind raced with possibilities. She realized something crucial. This was a predictable behavior. Every manipulative person follows a pattern, leaving themselves exposed to those who can see it. Instead of reacting, she let Alex believe he was in control, all the while documenting every move. Every favor, every subtle overstep was a piece of the puzzle she would use to turn the game around. Revenge wasn't about confrontation, it was about patience, timing, and precision. Maya's calm smile returned. The storm of retribution was brewing, and Alex was walking straight into it, unaware that each of his tests only tightened the net around him. By evening, Maya noticed the fifth sign, a dangerous escalation. Alex had started testing her emotions directly, subtle jabs during meetings, sarcastic remarks masked as jokes, and dismissive comments meant to make her question her value. He was trying to provoke her, hoping for an emotional reaction he could use against her. But Maya had learned the first rule of revenge: control your emotions and you control the outcome. Instead of reacting, she recorded every interaction, every tone, every carefully planted insult. Each small attack became data, a roadmap of Alex's tactics, a blueprint of his psychological warfare. This was the moment the stakes became crystal clear. Alex wasn't just trying to sabotage her career, he wanted to break her confidence, make her doubt herself, and weaken her position. And that was exactly what she needed, a clear enemy with predictable moves. Maya smiled softly, the fire of determination ignited inside her. Patience and observation were her weapons, and Alex was handing her every opportunity to strike back. The stage was set, and the payoff would be unforgettable. Late that night, Maya reviewed the week's events, and then it hit her, the sixth and final sign. Alex had become careless. Tiny inconsistencies in his story, misfiled emails, accidental messages left open on his screen. The more he tried to manipulate, the more he exposed himself. This was the ultimate sign, a plotting mind cracking under its own arrogance. Every predator leaves a trace, and Alex had left a trail of breadcrumbs too obvious to ignore. Maya realized the full scope of his betrayal, from stolen contracts to whispered rumors, and the perfect moment for revenge was within reach. Her pulse quickened. All the subtle signs she had tracked, the mistakes, the rumors, the manipulations, the emotional jabs, now converged into a single opportunity. She had patience, clarity, and an intimate understanding of her enemy's psychology. Alex had built his own trap without even knowing it. Maya leaned back, exhaling slowly. The stage was perfectly set. Revenge wasn't about impulsive fury, it was about precision, timing, and delivering a message no one could forget. The following morning, Maya acted like nothing had changed. To Alex, she was calm, almost oblivious, a perfect mask of composure. But inside, her mind was racing, connecting every sign, every clue, every misstep he had made into a single, unstoppable plan. Her first move was subtle. She planted a seemingly innocent suggestion in a team meeting, a strategy that appeared beneficial but would subtly force Alex into a corner. Every email she sent, every question she asked was a calculated step to test his reactions and push him closer to revealing his arrogance. Alex, blissfully unaware, responded exactly as she expected. He overstepped, making tiny errors that strengthened her position. Maya documented everything. Each mistake, each whisper, each miscalculation was another brick in the structure of her revenge. The stakes were clear. One misstep from Alex, one slip, and the carefully built house of betrayal he had constructed would begin to crumble. Maya's patience and precision had set the trap, and soon it would snap shut. By midweek, Alex's overconfidence began showing cracks. He dismissed small warnings Maya had carefully planted, assuming his charm and cunning would cover any slip. But she had anticipated this arrogance. Every error he made was a piece of the puzzle falling perfectly into place. It started with a misfiled contract, which Maya noticed immediately. She didn't confront him, instead she let it sit, knowing it would create confusion and subtly expose his negligence to upper management. Next, she accidentally forwarded him an email containing a hint of the consequences his actions could trigger. He didn't catch it. As Alex fumbled, Maya's plan accelerated. Each move she made was invisible, almost passive, but the tension it created was crushing him. He was unwittingly walking into her web, and the more he struggled to maintain control, the tighter the net became. Maya's heart raced, not with anger, but with anticipation. The first payoff was near, and the thrill of seeing her careful strategy come to life was intoxicating. Alex had made his first mistake, and Maya knew exactly how to exploit it. She didn't rush. She let him continue, confident that his arrogance would lead him to even binner errors. Every flustered reaction, every defensive glance was a confirmation that her plan was working. She began planting subtle hints to the team, tiny suggestions that made them question Alex's decisions without him realizing it. Emails phrased carefully, meetings scheduled strategically, casual questions asked in passing, all designed to sow doubt and push him further into isolation. Alex didn't notice. He was too wrapped up in his own self-assured schemes. The psychological weight began to bear down. As Maya watched Alex's confidence waver, the cracks in his carefully constructed persona widening by the hour, and all the while she remained calm, smiling faintly as the pieces fell into place. Patience had turned into control, and control into power. Her internal mantra repeated over and over, "Let him think he's winning. Let him think he's untouchable. The final strike is coming, and it will be unforgettable." By Thursday, Alex's mistakes began to ripple across the office. The small errors Maya had allowed to slide, misfiled contracts, misdirected emails, overlooked deadlines, started to compound. The team's confidence in him wavered and whispers began circulating. Alex tried to regain control, but every attempt only dug him deeper. Maya observed quietly, her calm demeanor masking a storm of satisfaction. Each domino Alex toppled with his own arrogance brought her closer to the ultimate payoff. She documented everything meticulously, knowing these moments would be invaluable when it was time to reveal the full scale of his betrayal. Even minor setbacks, delays in projects, confused colleagues, frustrated clients worked in her favor. Alex's own hubris had set the stage for his public unraveling, and Maya had turned patience into her most lethal weapon.